Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel CrackZat Turning Problems into Solutions. This is a revision video on simple interest and compound interest. So we have been knowing this and the formulas very easily, but I'll try to cover up some quick concepts based on the simple and the compound interest and some ways of calculating it a bit faster so that you can cover up these questions easily in the examination. All right, so starting up with the SI and the CI thing. So for the first year, we know that the SI and the CI are all the same, correct? But what about the compounding? Compounding in the sense of annually, yearly, or quarterly. So if something is taken up as 20% per annum, that is per year, then that can be compounded as 10% half yearly, that is in every 6 months. All right, and the same thing can be compounded as the again half 5% quarterly, that is 1/4 of a month in every 3 months. So this is the difference. This is how we'll be going forward with this. Now the SI remains constant every year, we know this, but the CI is the interest on the interest. We know this. I'm not writing it down, just telling it orally that the CI is interest upon interest. All right. So, what is interest upon interest? For an idea, let me tell you that if you have 1000 rupees and your rate of interest is 10%, then for the first year you would get 100 rupees as the interest, and in the next year this 100 rupees will be added to your principal amount, making it 1100, and then when you compound 10% on it, it gives you the second year's interest as 110. Now, this forms another kind of a question. In the question, sometimes you would see that the first year, second year, or the second year, third year's compound interest would be given to you. Okay, and they would be asking you to find out the principal amount. So this is one type of a scenario or a case when the CI for 2 consecutive years would be given to you, and you would have to find out the principal amount or something related to that in the formula, any one thing, amount or the principal amount, whatever. So in such a case, what are we supposed to do? In such a case, we are going to find out the difference between the CI. What is the difference between the CI? In this case, for example, it's 10. And after finding out the difference between the CI for the 2 years, we are going to take the lower CI. Lower CI means the first year or whatever year is given to you, the lower year's CI as the base, and see that what percentage is this difference with respect to the previous year or the lower year CI given to you. Now, why will this be done? Because this will help us to find out the value of the rate of interest. Now, once you get the value of R, you can easily go ahead and find out the value of P as well, right? Because the consecutive year, so T is given to you, R you have calculated. So now it's very easy for us to calculate the remaining variables like P. Okay, this was one type of question. Another type of question which I'll be covering up in this video is when the amount gets doubled, tripled, or sometimes. Okay, so if I say the amount get X times, okay, so what they would give you in the question is that suppose a amount is getting you, let's say, doubled. Okay, let's say the amount is getting doubled in 4 years. So we would be having to find out what would be, let's say, the time in which it will get doubled or something like that. Okay, stuff like that. So in this type of case, the formula says first find out the interest, because if you first find out the interest, it would be helping you to find out the other things as well. And finding out interest is very easy. The formula says x minus 1 multiplied with the principal amount P. Now x minus 1 multiplied with the principal amount P. Let's take an example. I have 2000 rupees with me, and someone says that if I invest 2000 rupees, okay, at a certain rate of interest, I would be getting 5 times the real amount, okay, in some years, let's say. Okay, so they will say that, okay, now either the rate of interest will be given to you or the time will be given to you. Okay, so if I say that the rate of interest is not given, for example, and the time is given, that in 5 years, I am going to make it 5 times. Okay, 5 times means x is now equals to 5. So 5 minus 1 into 2000, which is my principal amount, would make it 8000 rupees of interest only. Now, if it is SI question, you know what to do. SI is equals to P into R into T by 100. What do we know here? We know the SI, we know the P, we know the time. We can easily calculate the R. Same goes for the case with the CI also. Okay. So you can first find out the thing for the first year's interest and calculate upon it. In case they don't give you like that, then what will they give you? They will give you comparisons, an analogy type question. Like they will tell you, like let's take an example, like they will tell you that the money is becoming how many times? I told 5 times. The money is becoming 5 times in 5 years. Okay, so 5p. So you know what? The same amount 5p will become 5 times of itself, that is 25p, in next 5 years. There is a uniformity in the CI questions. The 25p will again become 25 into 5, that is 125p, in next 5 years. So this is a, you know, continued thing. This will help you when you have two comparisons. You can easily calculate the unknown quantity over here. So I hope this would be helping you out. Now, there is a very important information which I want to give you, okay, regarding reading these questions. The information is that if they write 2 years, then 2 years is different from the second year. Okay, so be very precise in understanding whether you have to calculate the interest for 2 years or just for the second year. This is somewhat of a verbal ability question I am discussing. So thoda dhyan rakhiyega that in the question they are either asking you 2 years ka interest or they are asking you the second year's interest, exactly second year's interest. Okay, now if two interests are given to calculate, I have already discussed with you, I guess. Let me think, what more should I cover here? Yeah, I should cover the effective rate of interest. Okay, this is something similar to what we have done in the successive discounts. Okay, so I'll be covering up that. So effective rate of interest is nothing but equals to the successive rates. Okay, the successive rates which we have done. Now suppose someone says that I want to purchase something at like an interest of 20% per annum. Okay, but the one who is paying back will say to the company that let's take it in six months of interval. No, I can't pay it once in a go. So the company will happily, just remember, if you have ever taken EMIs, or you can just go out and check the EMI scale on any website, be it Flipkart or Amazon, you will see the more the number of installments, the lesser, like the lesser it looks as the amount, but actually if you calculate the interest, you will see that you are paying more interest compared to what you would have paid if you have paid it in lesser amount of installments. Okay, and this is happening because of the effective rate of interest. Because if they will say that okay, then you can just divide 20 by 2 and give me in six months, the person will also happily say yes, but 10% per, not per annum, but half yearly. So over here we will be doing 10% in 6 months and another 10% in 6 months. That eventually means 10 plus 10 plus 10 into 10 by 100. That is an extra 1% from here. So the effective rate of interest will be EFA, if whatever, is equals to 21%. Okay, so that's the point. You might get a very direct question, if at all you will get a question from here, because this is one such concept not taken very commonly in the examinations. And again a very rare topic, but still you should know a little bit about it. You should know about installments. All right, so this is something related to what I just told you right now regarding the effective rates. So installment is always paid at the end of the year. And imagine if they don't tell you what amount of installment you are paying. So let us take it as X. So one type of a question can be where somewhere or the other they would have given you the repaid amount. So directly or indirectly, they would have given you the repaid amount. So how would we find out the installment then? We would be given the amount of loan. Now what we will be doing is, in the amount of loan, we would be adding up the interest for 1 year. This is how the loans are calculated. So interest of 1 year is added to the total loan. Then what is subtracted? The installment amount is subtracted from this, and whatever is left over, the remaining amount, this remaining amount, let me write the formula here. This remaining amount multiplied with 1 plus R by 100. R is the rate of interest. This would give you the repaid amount. So in the question, you would be given about the loan, the interest you earned on the first year, and then what amount of money is remaining. You just need to multiply it with 1 plus R by 100, and that would eventually give you your repaid amount. Now since the repaid amount is already given in the question, तो आप easily calculate कर लोगे the installment which you paid for that year. All right. So I think this was more than enough for you to revise upon SI and CI. And if you found this video useful, then please like this video, share it with your friends, and please subscribe to the channel if you are new to this channel. I'll be up with more quant revision videos. Until we meet again, please take care and thanks for watching.